Good blessed throwback Thursday, January the 4th, 2024. The time being about 8:34 a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you're the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. Doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I produce or say. That's your prerogative. You have a First and a 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Freedom of speech, freedom to gather, freedom to associate, and so on. As long as you do it like I'm doing in a peaceful manner. I'm over here on Franklin and Commercial Street, South Franklin and West Commercial Street, right here by the Mississippi County, Missouri Detention Center. My reason for being here is because, for those that don't know, around September, I think the 5th, of 2021, there was a secret meeting inside of this building, and I had one of the people from the RRR, Raymond Research and Recovery, the Underground Railroad, inside of there, and they still wondering who it was. But you will be able to see the meeting. I'm going to show you the critical part of the meeting that you want to watch, because you will be able to see. Now, we know all the crimes that some of the Mississippi County sheriffs that's working here, deputies that done, like Barry Morgan. We know the Illinois State Police arrested him for official misconduct and battery stemming from a suspect, and then shooting out of his car in the state of Illinois. See, they enforce the law there. Illinois State Police, they enforce the law there. But the Sheriff Department, you will hear the Sheriff Department, even after the Illinois State Police have made their findings to arrest this man, the captain of the Sheriff Department, his boss, Brenton Farrell, said that they internal investigation, the Sheriff Department internal investigation out of this corrupted detention center, they didn't find nothing wrong. But you see, he failed to realize whether he a millionaire or not, and he the sheriff of Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. The law hierarchy says that the state police supersedes the sheriff. They showed that a few years back in 2017 when Corey Huxton was the sheriff here and was arrested. But it seemed like everybody that be charged with a crime in this detention center, they being arrested by one authority but another one. But that man that drive that vehicle there, he seen me down there on Casey's on South Main Street. He waited, he hurried up and jetted in so I couldn't get him on camera. But y'all, everybody that used to work there, y'all know who truck that is. We know who that one is. That one, Brenton Farrell. But anyway, Barry Morgan he didn't lose his job, even though he was arrested. He get off probation this month. He got probation January the 11th, 2023. But what I want to show y'all is, now, it's a lot of things been happening in this place here. In May of 2017, Tory D. Sanders was gangbanged. You're going to hear Brenton Farrell talking about gangbangers, but Tory D. Sanders was gangbanged by some sheriff deputies and some Charleston, Missouri police officers, all white. And this ain't got nothing to do with you if you're not prejudiced, but he was gangbanged and killed. But they said he died of some type of anxiety. That's the new thing now. Anxiety. He shouldn't have even been in there. But then we go to September the 22nd, on Wednesday, September the 22nd, 2022. Tyrone, I believe Anderson, died up in here. You see what I'm saying? But nothing done, nothing said. But I want y'all to listen to all these people that was in this secret meeting here on September the 5th, 2021. And see what they saying about the black community. I'm talking about these people that you look up to, Rodney Jones, these people you look up to, I don't know if you want to call him Superintendent, Bishop, or Elder Betts, Steve Betts. Listen to these people, what they saying. They sitting here lying, saying that they go to the community when this violence happened. But when this violence happened right down here, a year ago, 16 people shot, 2 killed, wasn't none of them around. And look how close it is to the sheriff's office. Police department is right across this here field. But see, they closed that man down that got that. You know why? Because he's black. But they ain't closed his sheriff department down because of all of this corruption. Just last year, a white female complained about one of the jailers. He was black. Making her perform oral sex. He was fired. The jailer and his wife was charged with a crime. They was fired. You see what I'm saying? Corey Hutchinson was fired. And a lot of other people that worked in here was fired. But why ain't Barry Morgan fired? You know why? Because Barry Morgan and the sheriff here, Brenton Farrell, are crooks. And all them blacks you gonna see talking in this here, and they talk about they go around when people's houses get shot. I'm gonna show you when mine got shot. They didn't even have crime scene tape. They didn't even come around. You know why? Because I'm Raymond Lewis Ivory and I speak up. But just listen to all of these videos and you will see these people lying. And you will see Brenton Farrell is a racist. He said that the shooting at the car show in Wilson City on these what was it, the 7th or the 2nd of September of 2021, he said it was cultural based. In other words, this was black folks do. But yet, he called these individuals that they got, the 19, he the one started saying they are gangbangers. But who was them that killed Tory D. Sanders in May of 2017 in this same Mississippi County jail? Gangbangers, white supremacists. I'm gonna leave it at this here. Y'all watch this thing to the end. These people talking about they going around, and then Rodney Jones going around telling people, don't give me no videos because if they do that, they don't, that he's let them know they don't like me. Rodney said, we don't like him. And you will see who he talking about because he in here speaking with these people in this secret meeting. But he didn't know I had somebody in there too. Peace,
Charleston are investigating 2 reported shootings that happened over the weekend. Some residents point to the bullet holes in their houses as proof that the problem isn't new. Loretto Cruz is live in our newsroom with more.
Molly, people living in Charleston say they told me about what they say is a constant danger in their community, and that's violence and shootings. Now, yesterday morning, 2 young men, both Charleston residents, were shot. They were treated and released for their wounds, but so far are refusing to cooperate with the authorities' investigation. That's according to Charleston Department of Public Safety. Raymond Ivy and his 2 kids live in a home that still bears bullet holes from past shootings. Ivy has a YouTube channel devoted to increasing awareness for violence in Charleston. He and other residents say the violence there has gone on for far too long.
I personally feel threatening, and I'm gonna tell you why. This one here is 9 years old now. Me and my family feel threatened.
I feel how parents feel. You know, I lost a son. But when we feel the loss or the pain of losing them, we also have to take accountability for when we send them out here, do we send them out here the right way?
Now, one of Ivy's many complaints is that the police substation across the street from his home has sat empty for more than 2 years. DPS Chief Hearns tells me the substation didn't act as much of a crime deterrent when it was open and was closed due to a lack of funds. Now, the chief also explained that he recently ordered a significant increase in patrol all across Charleston, Missouri. Live local, late breaking from the newsroom.
Hug a thug mentality enacting legislation like SAPA telling the criminals it's okay to be bad, but while at the same time telling law enforcement we'll get fired, fined, or suspended or prosecuted for protecting our communities, that's unacceptable. Rethink the legislation that you're passing in Jeff City, because it's affecting real people, it's affecting real professions, and it's hurting real voters. Locally, I know the good people are fed up with it. They're tired of having their community shot up. So what I'd like to see from that is more local politicians, local community leaders come out to these events. I don't see you here. I don't see you at these events. Some of them do, but most of them don't. So it's a little late to act on things after the fact. It's great to talk about it afterwards, because yeah, we need to do something about it, but do something about it before. Be proactive, not reactive. Finally, I want to address the little thugs and gangbangers. That's unacceptable. You think you're hard, you think you're tough by pulling the trigger, you think you're being a man. This group is 17 to 20 something year olds. We have two little gangs in Charleston, the JBM gang and the CNH gang. JBM stands for just about money. The CNH stands for NCH, no chasing hoes. So you go all your life and you go be a man, and that's the two best names you can come up with for your gang. That's pathetic. We're just we're tired of you running down Charleston. Your family names are ruined. The good people won't talk to us because they're scared of you. But I'm letting you know right now, right here, in front of this camera, in front of God and everybody and all these witnesses, that me and my department aren't scared of you. We've got the good people's backs. I wish the good people would talk to us, but by the time we're done, we're not going to put up with it. You think you're hard, you think you're man, but you're not. And your little girls and your little boys out there running around in your Hellcats and doing burnouts and shooting, it's unacceptable in Mississippi County or any town in this county. Especially when it's at a family event. There were 1,000+ people with mamas and babies. And when the shooting occurred, mamas were dragging babies through the ditch, across 62, which is a major highway through this area. It's lucky nobody got run over. I personally had to go look for a mama, or an autistic son, who got away from his mama, lost somewhere in the crowd. So it's just lucky with all these shell casings that nobody else got hurt more than they did. But I'm letting you know right now, you little gangbangers, you little boo things, you little bay things, it's unacceptable. I'm not putting up with it, and I know the good people are tired of it too. So if the good people want to work with this department, we're here for you. Just call us, come by, we'll meet you somewhere. If you don't want to put your name out there, we're here for you. Anybody else got anything they want to say? Chairman, President? President Rodney Jones, I'll let you have the floor. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rodney Jones. I'm the NAACP president here in Charleston, Missouri. And I stand in agreement with the sheriff and the city of police department. And we stand today to say we're tired of the senseless violence in our community. And we want this to stop. There's help. There's plenty of clergy in this city, plenty of organizations that can give you the help that you need. And we just want the violence to stop. It's senseless, especially at these family events where we have families here with their children trying to enjoy a simple car show or whatever event it may be. We just asking you today, please stop. Seek help, and we're here to help you. Just call us anytime.
Commissioner,
just to, as a backup to the sheriff's department, the commissioners stand behind your department with whatever regulations, ordinances that need to be enacted to help you. Like I said, the three of us are very much inclined to look at all options of how we can facilitate to from our perspective, what we can do to help you.
Director, you want to say anything? Good. Pastors, you want to say anything?
I'm Pastor Steve Benson, the president of the Charleston Ministry Alliance, and we just want to say to our sheriff, our chief, and all of the people in Mississippi County, Charleston, especially, that we're here to support the events, but we're also here to support law enforcement. And whatever we can do, we're willing to do it.
Thank you, sir. All right, so as you can see, a lot of us are not happy with what's going on in this town, and I think we've come to a point where the good people have had enough. So we're going to stand together. We're going to work going forward together. Like Mr. Jones said, anything we can do to make it better, we're going to do that. If that includes law enforcement or community events or community policing, we're willing to do that and work with the community to do that. So thank you all for being here. Yes, sir.
Chief, can you please talk to me about when you do catch these individuals and the individuals that are committing these crimes, how are you going to prosecute them to the extent of the law? Like, what are these guys looking at? What do you want to see happen?
Well, these two individuals are currently facing 4 charges of armed criminal action and 4 charges of assault first. So our job is to basically gather the facts and present the case to the prosecutor, and then that goes up to the courts. So wherever that goes after we get it, I want them prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, but that's not up to me. That's what I want. But between the laws that are coming down from the state of Missouri, I understand there's trying to be a reduction in recidivism, but sometimes that doesn't happen. I understand trying to help teenagers that have kind of lost their way. I get that. But sometimes you have to be accountable for your actions. Now, whether that's a breaking down of the family structure or the communal structure, or whether they're intimidated by law enforcement or they're not. This shooting happened 20 yards from my officers, standing there, walking through the crowd, participating, interacting with the community, but this happened 20 yards away from them. So they obviously don't care that law enforcement was there.
And that's my question is, what message do you want to send to these guys that have their buddies out there and they think it's cool and they're doing it again? You know, because it's kind of brazen to go to an event like this and put thousands of people's lives in danger. So to the guys that got caught, what message do you want to send to their buddies that may think, oh, well, we still need to retaliate or we need to do that?
Don't do it. I mean, the simple answer is don't do it. I mean, make better choices for yourself. Think about your family, think about your friends, think about your family reputation, think about your reputation, but that's what they're doing. They're wanting to have street cred, which is short cred. I mean, that's a short life. Go back and get an education. Do better with education. Make better life choices instead of going down this path. It's short money. It's a short line to nowhere.
Mr. Jones, you know, we come from a community where for the longest time it has been with civil rights and Martin Luther King and march this and say that. But one thing the chief said that rang with me is community leaders being at these events. Do you plan to make both of you a pastor as well? Do you guys plan to try to show up to more of these events? And because being in the community and saying that you're NAACP or saying you run a church, unfortunately, that doesn't resonate with kids these days. It just doesn't. So one thing that Chief was saying is be more visible, be more active. It's kind of like within the church. It's easy to preach to the individuals that come, but the ones that aren't coming are the ones you need to touch. So I kind of feel this way about these kids. As Chief was saying, do you guys plan to be more visible at these events in the community so you can actually reach out to these kids before an incident like this happens?
Yes, sir. The short answer is yes, we plan on, and we have been at these events. We participated. This community is close-knit, and we try to be at all these events to show our support, to give these guys directions, and always let them know that, hey, we're here, we're in this community, we live in this community, we want this community to be safe, and we want it safe for everyone.
And then after an incident like this happens, and it's been released, whether it's the families that of the guys that commit the crime, or the families of the victims, do you guys ever, or I'm just asking to, do you guys take a second to reach out and say, hey, because one thing that Chief was saying is that not just tarnishes this community, but it tarnishes the name of the families of the people that you guys know or their grandparents, you know what I mean? So do you guys ever try to reach out and try to help them and try to break this chain of negative events that's happening in Mississippi County?
Yes, sir, we do. We often reach out to families that's been affected, and as well as the ones that committed the crime. We reach out to those families as well. because it's important to show support across the board. You can't just go about thinking that, you know, look at the victim, look at the person that committed the crime and not look at the victim as well.
And or where they came from. And then my last question is, how do we break this? Being community leaders, how do we stop this? Chief is playing to say, hey, let me do my job. If you have a problem, come talk to me, come see me. That's what I'm here for. Don't do it yourself, because now you're putting a lot. So I'm asking you guys, how do we break this negative chain of events that's putting your families in danger, their lives in danger, and the community in danger? What do you suggest?
I think it's going to come down to communication, cooperation, trust. We as law enforcement officers have to be in the community more as well, going to these community events. It's a two-way street. If we want them to talk to us, we have to go be with them too. My office we've been doing foot patrol and running around over there and trying to be more active in the community. But we're preaching to the choir right here. We are a small knit community. Everybody knows everybody. So if they don't feel like they can trust us enough to come talk to us, or they're scared enough to be retaliated against, hit us up any way you can. Through a community leader, you don't have to come here direct. We're a small enough town. You can get word to us, and then we can handle our business on the law enforcement side and bolster up people on the community side as well.
From the church perspective, Pastor Cassell, Pastor Mooney, and part of the Ministerial Alliance, within our congregation, we talk. We're open. We do go to the homes. We do know individuals that may be having some challenging moments for whatever the reason may be, but we are here to let them know we can support you, but your behavior, if it's negative, is unacceptable.
So we're just all trying to find a way to keep the community safe. And for you guys that live in the community, does the community feel unsafe? Do individuals living here, are they in fear because this happens?
Unfortunately, I'd say yes right now, but some of this is culture-based. Because at the end of the event, we had it roped off looking for shell casings, and there were guys there still on scene outside the ropes, yucking it up, laughing, having a good time, drinking their beer, like no big deal. So until some of the people in the community understand and realize that this is not acceptable, like the pastor said, and we all come together, they're part of the problem. They're part of the problem.
Well, I just think that that's my angle, just so you guys know, is that not just the police, not just the sheriff's department, but the community and community leaders are sick of it.
It's gonna be a concentrated effort. It's a multifaceted approach from different angles. Because I'm from the law enforcement angle, they're from the civil rights and community, they're from the religious angle. So there's different angles to this issue that need to be addressed, that can be addressed if we all come together and work together.
And another thing that really has to take place as we've done in the past is these gang members, some of them, when they get to the point where they are responsible for each other themselves, there's members of these gangs out here that does not go along with the shooting and the violence.
Yes.
And we can reach those members and have them to hold the other ones in that gang responsible. That tends to help also. So it's identifying those leaders, because they do change. The ones that were leaders before, they're pretty much gone. A lot of them moved, some of them in jail, but those leaders tend to hold other ones accountable, and that tended to help in the past.
You know, one thing that I don't recall you addressing really quick, was why? Why did they do that at that event? Do you have any idea why?
No, I can only speculate. There were some events leading up to this event that we think may have precipitated the shooting, but we can't say. It's a personal choice. Why do we do anything that we do? It's a personal choice. When you pull that trigger and that bullet comes out of the gun, you made an active choice to do that. I can't speculate to why. I really can't, because that's an individual choice. Why those young men feel the need to pull guns and act hard and do the things they do. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe like he said, nobody's holding them accountable. Maybe they've God knows, maybe they don't know what to do with their life. I don't know. But I just know that we're, as a community, are tired of it, and we're going to stick together and try to make a positive change. I think that's all we have for now. Anybody else got anything else they want to add to, or everybody good? All right. I thank you guys for coming. I thank you, everybody here, for coming. Just want Charleston and Mississippi County to know that we're here. This isn't going to be tolerated.
Good blessed Saturday morning, December the 17th, 2022. It's about 10 o'clock a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace, and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, or your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter whether you are the proclaim toughest to the proclaim weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaim enemies. Doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do. That's your prerogative. You have those rights. 1st, 5th, 14th, and so on. But I'm here live today here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. My camera is focused on the back doors of in the back parking lot of the police department, which all of together is the city hall. Right on the side of it is the Mississippi County Courthouse. And I'm doing a story that gonna sting what really is concerning a shooting here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County on December the 15th, 2022 on the west side of town in Charleston, Missouri, around Wall Housing and Gale Street. Shooting took place about 2:43 or 2:42 p.m. where normally the Charleston, Missouri Police Department responds, but rarely do the Sheriff's Department response, but the Highway Patrol responds most of the times. But I want you to just look, this is the police department, and then the Sheriff Department actually supersedes, is a higher legal authority over the police department. In the Illinois State Police Department is a higher authority over the both of them, the Sheriff Department and the Police Department. But I want to show you, I'm just showing you this here because I did a story. Now I'm finna go to the Sheriff Department, and then I'll finish my story.
Tonight about the case filed in Southern Illinois against a Mississippi County, Missouri Sheriff's deputy.
Mississippi County Sheriff Britton Farrell says he stands by his captain, Barry Morgan, who faces charges of battery and official misconduct.
Here's a look at video from last September that shows Sheriff Farrell with Captain Morgan standing to his left. According to Illinois State Police, the state appellate prosecutor's office out of Springfield filed the charges against Morgan. They come nearly 6 months after the arrest of a man who allegedly stole a Sheriff's Department truck and drove it from Charleston into Illinois before being stopped in Johnson County. All state police will say is that Morgan faces the 2 counts for actions relating to that man's arrest. Sheriff Farrell, meantime, tells me their internal investigation found Morgan did nothing wrong during that arrest. Farrell goes on to say that Morgan, quote, has served and is serving Mississippi County and our profession admirably. Farrell also says it's unfortunate investigators would rather charge a fellow officer than concentrate on the actual perpetrator of the crime. The man accused of stealing that truck is 40-year-old Matthew
Y'all
Nelson.
see your chief of police? Your chief of police, he just went up in here. You'll see his vehicle right here close up. That was the chief of police. He just went in there. He flew up in there so I couldn't see him. There go Bobby Hearns. See that? Probably a $100,000 vehicle. He just went inside of there. I tried to catch him before he went in. That's the Waffle House here, y'all. Let's get another good look of this vehicle, y'all. That's where he be at most times. Having this Klan meeting right up in here. Y'all see him good? That's the church he go to across there. If y'all pay real close attention to every one of them videos, one of the videos when I'm pointing at my house, that was 2015. at that particular time, some people were shooting at each other, and some of them were hiding behind my bushes shooting at the other people, and my house got hit several times. There was never a crime scene tape out there. Robert Hearns, I got document proof, Robert Hearns was sitting right by my driveway in the car with one of the people's family that was being shot at and shooting back. And when a officer was in my house, because my dad, World War II veteran dad, was in there, and my two young daughters, about 9 and 10 years old, Robert Hearns called the police detective out of my house and told him to go to a 3-car accident. He didn't go because he wanted to stay there and protect me and my daddy. That was James Williams. He's a state police now. But anyway, all these things that you hear, Robert Hearns, Steve Betts, Arthur Cassell, the commissioner, county commissioner, and the chief, the sheriff, and Rodney Jones, and the rest of them, they said that they do foot walks in our community. They don't do no foot walks in our community. Since 2015, when my house was got shot, they ain't been on the scene nan time. They talking about they go to people's houses. Only thing Rodney Jones, the chief of police, Steve Betts, and the commissioner, all they do is try to tell people bad things about me because I set them out. You got some good police officers on the police force, but it's not Robert Hearns, the chief. You got some good sheriff deputies, but it's not Barry Morgan, the captain, nor the sheriff. Pay close attention to what I'm saying, and the people in Charleston, Missouri know these people is lying. They don't come to your houses when you're shot. They wasn't there just a few days ago when 100 shots was fired and an individual lost his life. Peace be still.